Hello and welcome back to the Counterman Education Center. Today we're going to stop and talk about a very important subject, and that is brake bleeding. I've got Eric here with me, professional technician, and I know you bleed brakes all the time, but brake bleeding has changed over the years from a very simple hydraulic equation to ABS and sensors and everything else. Tell us about bleeding brakes today.
Bleeding brakes today, it can get pretty tricky, Scott, but it still comes down to some basics and some more specialized equipment. The basics of brake bleeding is when you can actually start with gravity bleeding, which is simply opening the bleeder screw and letting the fluid run out, and it works really well. But this next step to that is the traditional bleeding, where you open the bleeder screw, you put a hose on the end of it, you put that in a jar or a container, and then you push the pedal slowly to the bottom, release it, push it to the floor again, and that will force fluid using the pressure developed in the master cylinder. It forces the brake fluid through the system, out the calipers, and you keep the master cylinder topped off, and you get fresh fluid in there. So that's kind of like the standard procedure that we've all used for years, and you might have used at home when you were helping your dad bleed the brakes or something like that. You know, but on today's vehicles, pressure bleeding has become much more common and required. The main reason, and you can use it on any vehicle, and you use a pressurized bleeder tank, hook it up to the master cylinder, open the bleeder screws, and the pressure just pushes the brake fluid through. Much quicker. It displaces all the old fluid, a very efficient way of bleeding the brakes or flushing the fluid, but it's required because of the ABS unit and the complicated valving inside that unit. Sometimes just gravity bleeding, or even just using the pedal, that is not enough pressure to get the air out of the system. So the pressure bleeder, and sometimes you have to pump them up to a little bit, maybe 30 or sometimes 40 or 50 pounds. It's kind of uncommon, but some vehicles require that higher pressure so they can constrict those air bubbles and force them past and through the valving inside the ABS unit, and to get the job done.
Well, one thing you certainly don't want is air in any brake system, because it gives you a mushy pedal.
Absolutely, and that's no fun.
No, it's not. That's all for today, and thanks for being with us today on the Counterman Education Center.